Hi, this is Zak Mir with the Bulletin Board Heroes here at Vox Markets for Thursday, the 10th of June, starting off with Asimilar, where we had apparently a 55 pence target by the end of this month. Looks like we've got there ahead of time, and now trying to see where the shares are going to go from here. Probably up towards that resistance line projection from February, currently pointing around 78 pence, and that valid while we hold above yesterday's key reversal day up low, let's say, at 46.5, but probably the share's going to stay above 50 pence ahead of the move towards the 78 zone by the end of July. Moving along to a stock which I wouldn't normally look at, but because it's rather thin at the moment, a bit summary with the stocks going up to DFS Furniture. Presumably after lockdown, people are going to be rushing out and going to these kind of places. Here we've got a nice solid green candle there through the previous resistance at 289 and rather 299. And while we're above that, we get an end of day or end of week close above that, looking for higher ground. At this stage, probably up towards the top of the rising trend channel, which I'm just about to draw at the moment. That's stretching back from October last year. And it looks as though we could get a target there over the next couple of months as high as 390 or so, maybe by the end of, well, during August, something like that, but possibly by the end of July if the shares take off well from here. And only really back below the old resistance area around the 280 area, 290. Really delaying the upside scenario for that situation. Again, another stock which I wouldn't normally look at, but Hornby's back on the basis that we don't have much to look at. Here we had actually pretty good chart, in fact, so probably right that we're looking at this anyway. We had a gap through the 200-day moving average in April, and that remained unfilled, and then another gap later that month. Although that was filled, the shares managed to find support just near the bottom of the gap there, so that's pretty healthy. Since then, multiple support points above the rising 50 and 200-day moving averages. That suggests that we're going to get a reasonable breakout over the next 2 or 3 months, something like that. Top of the channel here heading towards 90 pence, floor of the channel around the 200-day moving average level at 51, so above the 50 pence area, looking to 90 pence perhaps by the end of the summer, which in this case means by August or something like that. But a surprisingly good setup there for Hornby at the moment on a technical basis. More usual fare now with Kavango. Here's a stock which I look at quite a lot. Nice gap here through resistance. Gaps very important in the sense that it normally suggests that the people have been caught off guard and caught on the hop, and that there's a strong momentum, hence the gap there. And current situation is that we're looking towards a line of resistance there from January, heading towards what's that, 6.5 or 6.25 pence, and the floor of the channel currently near the 50-day line at 3.69, so above that, looking for 6 pence plus, hopefully by the end of next month, maybe even sooner than that. Ideally, there's no sustained price action back below recent post-May support for the shares around the 4 to 4.25 area, so above 4, certainly looking for 6.25 over the near term on Kavango. Another less frequent flyer coming up now, Mighty. Here the interest is provided by the gap through the previous initial June resistance. And that suggests that there's plenty of momentum here. Looking towards a line of resistance there from back in December, and floor of the channel there around 70 pence at the moment, above 70 pence, looking for £1. And that could be seen as soon as the end of next month. So looking pretty strong on that one as well, on Mighty. Stock which I don't think I've covered before, or at least not in the recent past, is coming up next. And here we've got Prospects, which is looking interesting in the sense that we had we had a sort of island reversal, sell-off there at the beginning of March, but gap left there. We've actually gapped up today, so that gives us an island gap, or an island bottom, and at least while we're above 1.7 pence on an end-of-day close basis or a weekly close basis, looking for a reasonably good move to the upside. We've broken a falling wedge, which was in place from December, so that gives the situation some decent momentum, and we could actually head significantly higher. possibly up towards this line of resistance that I'm attempting to draw at the moment, top of the triangle from back in September. That's pointing us towards the 3p level, and ideally that we could see that by the end of next month, or perhaps going into August for that. If you're cautious on the shares, maybe you want to see an end of day or a weekly close above the 200-day moving average around, what's that, around the 1.5p level, but it looks as though with that gap higher today and the break of the falling wedge around 1.6p, the shares are on their way, especially after that sort of triple bottom that they managed to achieve around 1.3p over the last month or so. Another stock which is gapping higher and then is therefore is of note is Serica. It's been sort of rather dead for quite a long time, so a gap higher today through resistance through the 125p zone, pretty significant. We've had multiple tests as well of the 200-day moving average just below £1.15, so that just show that the shares have developed a decent platform for possible move to the upside. In terms of what the upside could be, we're looking towards the top of this rising trend channel that I'm just drawing at the moment at £1.50. That's perhaps a 2-month target, maybe the end of July going into August. And that's valid while we hold above the 50-day moving average at £1.17, so above 117, looking towards the £1.50 area over the course of the summer. Star of the show and the star of the week to date, courtesy of Questa in the Telegraph. Good to see that the sort of mainstream media working there at the moment. I previously had a target here of £1.30, which I was going on and on about like a broken record, but looks as though my dreams have come true there. £1.30, as you can see, the top of that channel, and ideally there's an end-of-day close above that, or a weekly close above that, to give the shares the potential for a new leg to the upside. Just how high that could be is suggested by the February resistance line that I've just drawn there at up to £1.60, and we could see that by the end of next month, although the way things are going, could be by the end of this month. At this stage, only really back below that old resistance there, around the what's that, the sort of the 107, 109 level, really delaying the upside scenario. But it would be surprising now if the shares settled below £1.20 for any given period of time, or any extended period of time. Above 130, looking to 160 on Tirupati at the moment. Just a couple of stocks to go now, rather obscure. The first one, which is, well, it was good to see something different, I suppose. Here we've got situation which is just starting to get moving. I was going to cover it yesterday, but I just wanted to be a bit more sure about the shares holding above the 50-day moving average, which they've done now. Support today at the 50-day line just below 31p, and above 31p looking towards the mid-40s again for Windar Photonics. The longer time frame target, I suppose, here is would be up towards the top of the rising trend channel that I'm just drawing at the moment. So that could be up to as high as what's that, 60p by the end of I suppose by the end of July would probably be a sort of ambitious target, but it is probably achievable, especially given the way that the shares managed to go from 10p to 53p over the course of January, February. So the shares are capable of moving well when they want to. Another stock which I've looked at, I think it might have been as soon as recently as yesterday, is Zephyr. Just to have a sort of a fresh look at this now. Here we're breaking to new highs for the shares since its current incarnation, and rising trend channel from back in January, top of the channel, heading towards the 5.5p zone, and that could be seen as soon as the end of this month. So looking pretty strong on Zephyr. Upside valid while we hold above the 20-day moving average, and I suppose the 3.5p zone, really. So above 3.5, looking for 5.25 by the end of this month. That's it from me today. More updates tomorrow.